I'm a caricature artist and I draw caricatures at parties. But in this video, I'm going to be drawing a caricature of Marilyn Monroe, but using the same method I would use at a party. And I'll be explaining what I'm doing along the way. Okay, on this one, we are drawing Marilyn Monroe. I'm just going to do a quick sketch of the shape of her face. And now the shape of her hair. And I'm just sort of looking at the outline in my mind as if it was like a silhouetted outline. Just put a line here about where the eyes would go. Here we go. Got my little zebra marker. Start drawing her eyes. First thing I notice is her eyes, they tilt down a little bit. If you draw a line through the corner of her eye to the outside, it tilts a tiny bit. So we can tilt it a little more than that. And that would be a good way to exaggerate it. Well, I didn't tilt it down very much, so let's add some ink to it. See, there's always ways to fix a mistake. Now we're going underneath. Add some eyelashes. Just kind of figuring this out as I go. Adding a little highlight. And then the pupil. Another thing I notice is her eyelid. Her eyelid is larger and rounder than a normal or an average eyelid. So we can exaggerate that a little bit. Also the under eyelid. Just a tiny line there to suggest it, because I don't want her to look like she has dark bags under her eye. Now we're going to draw the eyebrow. And I'm looking at this whole section here. I'm looking at the negative space. And if you'll look right here on the photo, you can kind of see this little bump area. That is actually the skull beneath the skin, believe it or not. And if you think about the negative space, and in this case you can actually see the edge of the where the skull and the eye socket is. I don't know technically what that's called, but I call it an eye socket and a skull. Okay, here we go. So then the eyebrow, it's arced around this brow area. So we create that arc. And that's why you keep in mind the negative space, because if you arc it and bring the arc down too soon, it will throw off the look of it. At least I think so. Now we're going to do the bridge of the nose. This is a straightforward view. I normally draw a 3/4 view, but this photo was so good I had to try to do it. Sometimes you do that as an artist. You see a photo or a person that looks so cool, you're like, oh, I want to try to draw that. Okay, and so here's another one where this line goes like this, and then it kind of breaks almost down a little bit. She's got a lot of mascara on. I can't really see the individual eyelashes, so I'm not going to draw them. I just make a thick line here. Also, I'm not connecting these two lines because it's very thin there, and the line seems to disappear, so I make it disappear on the paper. And here there's some darkness. I can add the eyelashes And I think that looks cool. Okay, we're going to add the iris, a little highlight, and the pupil. Her lids are also low on the eye. And now we've got the rounded eye. I'm going to make sure we match it up on the other side, because it does kind of match in the photo. You'll notice when you're drawing somebody, some people have one thin eyelid and one thick eyelid. And if you see those little differences as you're drawing them, it can really help capture the likeness. This eyebrow is slightly different from the other one. It kind of has an S curve to it. Okay, just drawing some lines in there. I want this drawing to be great, but if I mess it up, we'll just laugh about it. We're drawing in the nose. That's like the dimension line where the top of the nose breaks toward the underneath of the nose. Now we're going to add that little part. The nostrils are actually kind of small, so we'll just make them small. Add the nostrils. And I could add some extra lines here to show the bulb of the nose, but I won't, because she's wearing a lot of makeup, and the way the light is shining, you can't really see it, so we'll just not mess with that. Now we're going to draw her lips. She has very full lips. Oh, I think I just messed up. Oh well. I'll make that line a little thicker. See, I was going to draw the top edge of the lips, but I accidentally started with like the curve of the bottom edge of the lips or something like that. Anyways, but I'm drawing the lips here in this situation as a shape. The mouth is slightly open here, and then you've got the bottom lips. So as you can see, no matter how many times you've drawn, or even if you have a full career as an artist, it's still easy to mess up, make had a teacher tell me one time that the more mistakes you make, the more you learn. And she has a mole here, or she may have called it a beauty mark right there. So I'm just adding a little dot. Tiny little wrinkle there near the chin. Now we'll bust out the big marker, and here we go. Suggested chin. Okay, and now I haven't exaggerated very much, but we'll just keep going with it. I'll try to stylize it more. That's another thing I like to do. If I'm not going to exaggerate, or if I'm finding it hard what to figure out how to exaggerate, then I will stylize. Because stylize is different from exaggerate. Stylize is finding the straight lines and the curved lines. And also just finding things that look cool. Okay, whenever I do these videos, I always want to do the best drawing I possibly can. But I'm realizing that if I mess up, you may actually learn more from me making a mistake on the video. Okay, another thing I'm noticing is that she has what is normally called a widow's peak. It's not a brow that goes straight across. There is a V shape in her hairline. So if we emphasize that, that's going to help also with the likeness. Okay. If you've been watching this, you know that I like this part here. This is called the swoop. It's where the hair cascades over, then swoops down across the face. It's kind of fun to draw. Here's the edge of the swoop, and then now you draw the hair underneath it. And if I had another crack at it, I might take the swoop, bring it up a lot higher, but it's too late. We'll just work with it. There's some interesting curls on this side of her hair too. It curls up and back down again. I don't want to draw her neck too skinny because I haven't exaggerated this or made it too cartoony, so I'll keep her neck fairly thick, but not as thick as the photo, and then draw the turtleneck in there. Now the top of the hair. I'll try to stylize this a little bit with these curls. I don't know if this looks like her or not. Y'all tell me what you think. Does it look like her? A little bit, but even if it doesn't look like her, it's a practice drawing. And every time I draw a practice drawing, I get a little bit better. Even if it doesn't look like the person, as long as I realize that and I'm trying to fix it every time, then I'm always going to be getting better. Her hair does a cool thing. It curls up here and then it curls back out. That's kind of hard to draw. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.